to repeat the asanas Arun was telling. So number one is Mandukasana. Mandukasana is actually very good. It actually promotes digestion also. Like if anybody is having any kind of digestion issues also, the first asana which he mentioned was Mandukasana. So that is actually helpful. And also if anybody is suffering with constipation, that is actually good. And also most importantly, Mandukasana, it increases the blood circulation to our brain. Which is very much necessary to reduce our stress levels and anxiety. The second asana which he mentioned was Vakrasana. Vakrasana, it actually stimulates and increases blood circulation to all our internal organs, right from our heart, brain, liver, pancreas, kidneys, and most importantly lungs. So yeah, right now the need of is lungs. We have to boost up our lung health. So Vakrasana is actually good, and also it also helps for people who are suffering with back pain and sciatica pain also. And the last asana which he told is Uttanapadasana. So that actually helps in building the core strength and also abs. Also, most importantly, again, it enhances the lung capacity, and also it makes our breathing also much easier. And also, if anybody is suffering, be it males or females who have any kind of fertility issues, or to simply put up, we can just boost up our reproductive health. So this Uttanapadasana, which is the last asana he told, so that is actually going to help. So these are the three asanas which Mr. Arun has mentioned. And the three breathing techniques, pranayama techniques are, one is Brahmarik pranayam, the another one is Anulom Vilom, which is also called as alternate nostril breathing, and the third one is Bhastrika pranayam. So pranayam is like prana means life force, and then ayama means lengthening it. So to simply put up, it means we are increasing our life force, kind of like we are increasing our lifespan, to simply tell about it. And like if you all want to go on a detox, pranayama is the best detox, I can say, because researchers are saying that 80% of the toxins that are lying in our body can actually be flushed out only by deep breathing, simply by deep breathing, nothing else. Because breathing is something like a voluntary action, like we don't concentrate on breathing, it just happens like that on a 24-hour mode basis. So if we take like even 5 minutes in our 24 hours of a day and concentrate on this deep breathing, which is also called as pranayama, so it has many numerous health benefits. So to simply put it up, there are trillions of cells in our human body which keep on regenerating each and every second. So even the cells that are present in our immune system, they keep on regenerating. So this deep breathing, or also called as pranayama, is actually going to help in this regeneration process, because this regeneration process actually requires oxygen. So this deep breathing is going to supply each and every cell that is present in our human body with good amount of oxygen, which is very much needed. And also it is going to increase the blood circulation to all the organs present in our body. And most importantly, like since in this lockdown, you and me and everyone else, we are all feeling stressed and anxiety is happening all around. So WHO also mentioned the importance of yoga, and most importantly, they also mentioned and emphasized on the importance of emotional well-being, so which can actually be increased by doing yoga in our daily routine, and also most importantly pranayama, which is deep breathing. So deep breathing actually plays a major role in reducing our stress levels and also our anxiety levels. So this is the session, but I have a few questions actually. I just want to answer them. So first question is like, can we eat according to our hunger irrespective of timings? Like, should we follow a specific eating pattern, schedule, timetable kind of? or should we listen to our hunger signals that are coming from our body? So that's a good question actually. Both the meal patterns have their own benefits. It's good to follow a schedule. It's definitely good to follow meal timings especially. But for example, it's our dinner time, and if you don't feel hungry, it's not needed that you push yourself and have a large meal since it's your dinner time. It means that our body has diverted that energy that is needed for our digestion process on something else, and it's actually good sometimes to leave our body for that energy to get into some other healing process or something else instead of always pushing it into that digestive mode. But at the same time, listening to our hunger signals is actually good, but sometimes it can actually mess up. There is a hormone called ghrelin. It's a hunger hormone. It keeps on releasing whenever we feel hungry. But sometimes, especially during this kind of lockdown and all, what we all feel is like sometimes we get really bored and we keep searching for some options to eat, which is not good. So what I say is, yes, definitely, ultimately listening to our body, if like we are hungry or not, is the best thing to do. And also following meal timings is very, very important, but never ever force, since it's your meal timing, don't force upon yourself. So even though it's not your meal time, but still you're hungry, don't go for a large meal. Go on something like a simple healthy snack, like you can just go and have a fruit or few nuts or seeds. So that's my answer. And another question is on bloating. So what's the difference between bloating and pot belly? So this is an interesting thing. People actually get confused between those two. So bloating is completely different. Bloating, when it happens, is when there is accumulation of any kind of unnecessary fluids or gases in our digestive system. Instead of going out, they just accumulate there, and then bloating happens. And pot belly is like accumulation of fat cells in our abdominal region. So both are completely different. So for bloating, what I advise is you can simply have some coriander water, kothimira we call it in Telugu, or you can simply take some coriander seeds, boil them in water, have it like a tea, coriander tea, and you can simply have barley water. And most importantly, keep a check on the intake of sodium and sodium rich food. So keep a check on your salt intake. And then for pot belly, definitely it's a lifestyle disorder. It means you are accumulating fat. So exercise is number one answer for that. And also definitely check your lifestyle factors, be it your diet, the meal timings, like are you having your meals on time or not, and then check your stress levels, and most importantly exercise. There are some particular abdominal exercises which can actually help in reducing that pot belly. And another question was what is the importance of jamun vinegar? So jamun vinegar is particularly, we as nutritionists, we suggest that only for diabetic patients. So that plays a major role in reducing and keeping our blood glucose levels in control. We usually recommend it to take like 30 minutes before main meals, but please don't go with it without any dietitian's advice or your doctor's advice. It's a good blood purifier also, and also it has good amount of iron also, jamun vinegar. But don't kindly use it without your nutritionist advice or your doctor's advice. And my next question is, how many hours of sleep do we need daily? So if we go with the guidelines, it's like 7 to 9 hours of sleep is needed for proper immunity or for our overall well-being. But if you ask me, I say quality of sleep is more important. Like you cannot sleep for 10 hours and 12 hours and have disturbed sleep, which doesn't make any sense. So it's always good to have kind of quality sleep. So that actually, again, I go into deep breathing. So personally, my quality of sleep has increased a lot with pranayama, which is deep breathing. You can simply go onto your bed and deep breathe for like start with 5 minutes, if not 10 or 15 minutes. So that's going to make a huge difference to your sleep. The kind of quality sleep you're like peaceful sleep without any kind of disturbances. So if that's the case, even 6 or 7 hours of sleep is completely fine. So the bottom line is once we wake up from our sleep, we have to feel refreshed, not tired. So that's it for today. Any more questions? Yeah, hi Priyanka. Backache asana, so the Vakrasana which Arun told is actually good for sciatica and backache also. You all can actually follow his page, Vedavyas Yoga, and personally contact him if you have any questions regarding yoga. So I cannot comment more on this. Anything else? Yes, Srinivas, actually, I repeated the asanas, but still, for those all who missed this session, I'll again make a separate note on the asanas and the breathing techniques which Mr. Arun has advised all of us in a separate post. So, any more questions or shall we wind up? Which topic, Srinivas? Can you please mention? Hi, Kirti. Yeah, hemoglobin. So that's a whole different topic again. Yeah, okay, Priyanka, welcome. Yeah, so iron-rich foods, all our greens have good amount of iron, and also along with the iron-rich foods, all your sprouts are very much rich in both iron and folic acid. You can have a cup of boiled sprouts in your breakfast time, and most importantly, no matter even if you take supplements for iron, if you don't have proper amount of vitamin C, that iron is not going to get absorbed into our body. So we have to keep a check on the amount of vitamin C also. It's always advisable to actually combine an iron-rich food with a vitamin C-rich food. So for example, which I told now, a bowl of steamed sprouts, say moong or chana, a cup or bowl of chana. You can actually add some lemon juice on the top of it and have. So that actually increases the iron absorption also. Hi Apurva, so how much of coffee or tea with milk is permissible in a day? Milk is actually I am against milk, so I don't suggest, but if you are used to and it's a part of your daily routine, limit it to maximum 2 cups per day, not more than that. So the bottom line is, be it coffee or tea is more acidic. The more acidic our body gets, we are more disease prone, to simply put it out. So anything else? Okay, so thank you so much. Thank you everyone.